Hey everyone, welcome to Brickball. My name is Jack. Today we've got one of the big old LEGO Creator modular sets. This is the Detective's Office. The set's recommended for ages 16 and up. It is set number 10246 and it has 2,462 pieces. There are 6 minifigs in total and a lot of nicely colored buildings as well as some good signage. Not only am I looking forward to how this set is going to kind of break up some of the look of our other modular sets within the city, but I think the hairdresser as well as the build for that pool table on the inside is going to be really cool. All right, let's get this set open and built. Alright, so the box is full of a bunch of bags. As you can see, there's 4 piles because they're labeled up to the number 4. 1 plate piece as well as just a single very large manual. And of course we've got our base plate, which comes in a nice brown color, which I haven't seen in any of the modular sets so far. So anyways, there's a lot of stuff to do. Let's get started right now. So the live stream finished. We didn't quite finish the set on camera. There was some camera issue problems. But anyways, here is the entire set together. It looks great. I like the combination of the different kinds of blues. I think we've got that medium azure blue and then something a little bit lighter than that. And it's juxtaposed with some nice brick pieces. And underneath we've got a darker blue Al's Barbershop and a great bit of signage for the pool place down below. Now at first I thought this was maybe 2 16 by 32 modular bits that you could separate, but it's not quite that. It really is all one chunk, but in the middle we do have an archway, a little sort of alleyway that kind of sticks between, and I think it looks very well to break up the look of this build. It really makes it feel like there are 2 different buildings, and we've got a couple of little balconies and a darker brown section kind of right in the middle. And when we turn the building around, I think you can see the base colors of all the different sections of the building a lot easier, and there's just a lot more going on in this particular build. It definitely breaks up the look of the entire city when you've got this whole thing together. This is definitely a building that's going to make your city look a bit more diverse. Now, let's check out the interior. This is a very recent set, so the interiors are fleshed out very nicely compared to the early ones. So I'm going to take off the top section, but also just take a closer look at the front area. This is really the sort of bread and butter of the set in terms of the nice detailing. I like the brown columns that you can see in the front by the Highlander. We've got a tiny little mailbox, and this is just a closer shot of the barbershop signage there that says Al's. This is definitely a technique we've seen several times before in past modular creator sets, but it works quite well. And let's take a look at the inside of the Highlander. This is a bar, or at least I thought it was a bar. It could be some sort of like classy little gentleman's club or something. There's basically just a pool table, and actually let me take out the ceiling fan. I like the build for the ceiling fan, but it really does kind of block the rest of the look on the inside. And now you have a slightly better look for the pool table. I like the design a lot. You can see the pockets on the sides. We obviously have some pool balls that are mixed up on the table. They're all connected by studs. You can't really slide them around the table, but you can lift them off and put them into different combinations if you like. And I think the interior feels very cozy with the different colored tiled floor there. Probably a nice carpet. And in the back we also have some details for a trophy as well as a dartboard. That is a printed piece. Now I'm not quite done with the interior of this place just yet, but I will come back to it. First I want to check out the inside of Al's Barbershop. Now the barbershop has some great stuff going on here. I am just a little bit not happy with the fact that it is so hard to access so much of what's going on the inside here. You can move the stairs back out of the way so you can see the interior just a little bit better, but it is kind of hard to get minifigures in and out of this section, or if you wanted to move pieces around here, it's the same deal. It's kind of hard to just get your hands in there and do anything. But regardless, we've got a mirror piece, which is great. It's one of the nicer pieces that you can get, I think, from LEGO. It's really cool. And of course that faces a swivel chair where you've got your person that is getting their hair cut, and there's a couple of wigs on the side. They could also just be possible hairstyles that a minifigure might want, and of course you could switch those hair pieces out with the minifig whoever seems to be getting the haircut at the time. When you turn back to the other side, that is the glass door that allows patrons to get in and out of the barbershop. It's not quite in the front, it's actually in that side alley. And the cool thing about this barbershop barber chair is that you can basically just lean the minifigure back right where they are, and there is that little wash station in case the minifigure is getting a wash and shampoo. There's that little sink. Now you might have noticed there is a little cabinet in the back with some drawers down below, and that's a nice bit of detailing. But here's where the cool bit of sort of secrecy is going on within the entire bottom floor of this build. So keep your mind on this little bit of cabinets down below, but let's move to the outside. You can see there is a little grate and gutter next to the trash can, and this is the cool thing. So you can open it up, and there you can see a tiny little wall, and there's some multicolored bit of Lego there. But when you push it open with your finger on that side, you turn back around, and that's what opens up this little trap door, really, that is behind this cabinet. So who knows what kind of dirty business is going on between Owls and the outside, but this is the cool thing. So you can open up this little section here. That little Technic pin actually allows you to kind of get your finger in there and open up this other little area, and that is another secret compartment. If we move the stairs back to where they were before, and I'm flipping it back towards the outside, so we've got these back stairs here that are in between Owls and the Highlander. You can take this piece out too. Now this is where that second door opens up. There's a barrel on the inside. Who knows what's in that barrel, but you can pass something from the gutter to the barbershop, from the barbershop to this secondary spot under the stairs. And if you've noticed, there's that other little cubby that leads towards the Highlander. So if you go back into the Highlander, now we are back inside this area. Just below the trophy case, there is that black panel, and the black panel simply slides to the side. So the nice thing about this set and all of the sort of recent ones is the builders have added sort of secret niceties to the interior that have something to do with the theme of whatever is being built. The brick bank has the money laundering, and the detective's office has some bit of mystery. I really do like this function. They work very well, and it's nice to know that these modular builds don't just look nice on the outside. So anyways, let's check out the second floor. On the outside, you can see it is Ace Brickman, private detective, on the window, and his building is made of all brick. There's also the pool sign for the Highlander down below. This is a different way that we get some signage there, but it looks really nice actually. Very animated lettering for sure. But let's actually move on to the interior, because this is probably one of the nicest areas for the whole set, I think. Panning around the room, I suppose. This is what the windows look like from the inside, and underneath that is a little safe, and inside is a briefcase with some money. Now there is a hat stand that is facing the interior door, probably one of the nicer, more telling details of the inside. And when we move around towards the other edge, we've got a filing cabinet. There's some letters on the inside, with some of the drawers at least, and on top we've got a ceiling fan. Not a ceiling fan, just a regular plug-in fan. Now the main interior section of the office has two chairs. The guest's chair is much nicer and looks a lot more comfy, where you can see the detective has given himself a much smaller chair to sit in. His desk seems very cluttered. He's probably a very busy detective. He's got newspapers and letters, and buried underneath that there's a really nice print for a city map. There's that great looking lamp with the green glass on the top. I don't know the name of that lamp. And then I saved the best details for last. We've got a wanted sign on one edge, and then a somewhat crooked looking painting on the other side. Now here's where things get a little bit interesting. Spin that painting to the side, and underneath is or behind I should say, is a hidden letter in a compartment. This is where I suppose the real evidence is being hidden, in case anybody maybe tries to sack his office. Who knows? This is a nice detail where you can really start making up a story in your own head. Now when we move out of the office, you can see in the middle area where there's that little balcony, we've also got some details here. This is a ladder that actually can be held up, or you can have it slide down to the first floor if you choose. There is a little potted plant there. And when we go into the other section, the blue area, the funny thing is that the stairs come up from Al's barber shop and they go into this spot, which is basically the hallway next to the bathroom. I guess the nice light blue color is kind of appropriate for this area. And the bathroom stall is kind of cool. I like that the door is not set at a right angle, but kind of in between two open bits of the wall. And the interior here is pretty well fleshed out. out, I gotta say. There's a sink. I think that's an extra roll for toilet paper. There's the toilet bowl itself, and even a lever for flushing towards the top. This area is still kind of opened up to where the entrance of the office would be. There's another potted plant on the inside, and then stairs that, well, lead up to the top floor. Now, the top floor is kind of split between, well, one is really a top floor, and the other one we already reached the top. That is the detective's office. This is the roof for his office. If you're having trouble recognizing the ornate bit of detailing on the roof edge there, those are actually Bionicle fists. Or I mean, they come from Bionics. When you look at that detailing on the outside from the other edge, you can definitely see where where those are supposed to hook into those Bionic features. And the rooftop here also has a water tank, something that we don't really see too often anymore on buildings, but remember, a lot of these are supposed to be designed from the 1930s-ish period. So yeah, that would be pretty common back then. There's also a skylight over to the detective's office. And before we check out the last bit of interior work, I do want to point out that the roof on the other side has a great feature here. I always thought these curved bits are kind of like sort of really nice chair legs or something. I don't know the name of that piece, but when you take it off, you can see that it kind of tooths in with some cheese wedge pieces that stick out on the other side. And I think it's just a nice way to weave the bottom section up with the top half of the roof. But I guess now that I've pulled off this area, we can check out the interior. And this is what I believe is just a small kitchen. I mean, there's a cat, there's some cookies. Perhaps they were just baked. There's that oven down below with the stove on the top, a couple of drawers, some cabinets, and even a rolling pin. Kind of unfortunate that the kitchen is right above the bathroom, especially considering the walls of the bathroom stall are not even connected in their own separate room. Anyways, I'm not going to look into that too much. And there's only a couple other details really on the inside here. A clock on the wall. I think that is a little coffee table, or just a little table with a bowl in there, and then another container towards the back, which is next to the door that does actually lead onto the roof that I was just pointing out. So that's pretty much it for the interior, and well, I guess the exterior as well. Let's take a look at the minifigs now. This first guy is appropriately the detective from the set. He's got dirty blonde hair, a grayish blue jacket, but I think most importantly, you can switch out the hairpiece with his hat. Now that fedora matches up pretty well with the look of a detective, and not bad looking minifig at all. Now I suppose the barber is the next biggest character. He's got sort of a funny looking print for the shirt. He comes with a pair of scissors, and he's probably an older guy. He's got gray hair. And the next is a minifigure that is a police officer, though we have some printing that shows some hip for negative space. So it could be a female minifig, but the police officer hat doesn't really show that so well. Now the next minifig here is a female minifig in a white dress. She's got the same negative space printing to show the hips, and it's even on the back as well. Now there's the last two figs. Both of these prints are relatively common and a little bit more recent, I think, than the other ones. This is a bad guy. I'm going to assume he's a bad guy because he's got sort of that beanie. I don't know why I associate that with bad guys, but anyways, he's got a plaid shirt, and the next guy has got sort of a jacket and spiky hair. So here are all 5 of the minifigs, but really it is time to put this into the Lego city. Now this is actually the first time I'm showing off the city since we've done quite a bit of a redesign, you might be able to tell. But don't worry, we'll make an episode about that in the near future. Right now I just want to show you what the city looks like now that we've added our latest version of a modular build. And like I said in the beginning of the episode, this thing really does serve well to break up the look of, well, all the buildings. Even though it is a 32 by 32, it definitely looks like a series of smaller buildings have been thrust into what are some larger ones surrounding it. And that definitely makes this street corner look and feel just a little bit more realistic. You know, not every single building is exactly the same, and doing something just as little as changing up the width of several buildings around you really serves to improve the look of the city as a whole. So anyways, that is it for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Remember, if you want to buy the set, I have left a link in the video description below. And remember, if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. All right, that is it again. So thanks a lot for watching. This is Brickvault, and we'll see you next time.